Powerful, budget-friendly, and well-aged. These are some of the thoughts that come into my mind when I drive my 2003 Infiniti G35. It's been around for 15 years, and it's still an amazing vehicle. So what I want to let you know today is, what is this vehicle like driving? And is it worth the investment in 2017? For those of you who cannot watch the entire video and still want to know, basically, this car is amazing. Buy it. It's a great budget vehicle for under $5,000. If it's any more than that, it better have very low kilometers. If it's any less than that, perfect. The well-aged portion is what I want to talk about first. In 2001, when Infiniti first introduced this iteration of the G35, I think they did a remarkable job in the way it looks, the way it's designed. Personally, to me, this looks like speed met elegance, got freaky with it, and 9 months later, out came this. Infiniti, to me, got the lines, the curves beautifully done. Like, I got curves. Everybody, let's be real. I got curves. But these curves are just so astonishing. Even the way that everything swoops into these beautiful taillights, which is a damn shame they got rid of. Because these straight LEDs, in my opinion, are better than any of the circular LEDs that were on the 2005 generation and forward. This is sexy. What the hell, Infiniti? The only thing I hate about this car are these, the headlights. They remind me of the bug-eyed Subaru. It's not pretty, but thank God for aftermarket parts. After these 15 years of being on the market, there are some really good alternatives to this. But what the hell is this? Yeah. But check out that spoiler, that minimalistic spoiler. It's not too big, not too small, just right, and it really complements the car. Even these 17-inch rims look decent for factory rims from 14 years ago. Thick 5-spoke design exposing the stock brakes, which do a great job of stopping, by the way. This fat of a car of 3,400 pounds. Stepping inside the car, you're greeted with a whole bunch of leather. Leather on your steering wheel, leather on your seats, leather on your doors, leather everywhere. But that's not a bad thing. It's very comfortable. That's the whole premise of this car. It's about being comfy. At the same time, there are some styling cues. The hard plastics, even though it is a hard plastic, still has good texture to it. Again, this is a 15-year-old car, and it does look 15 years old in the cabin, to the point where we have a cassette deck. We have a damn cassette deck. The seating room in this car is very comfortable, actually. I'm 5'9", and if I sit in the front, if I get into this seat, this comfortable leather seat, oh yeah. If I get here, I have a good amount of leg room. Now, if someone else gets on behind me, roughly the same height, they have enough leg room as well. They got about 4 to 5 inches of knee room. Now, if you have like small kids or anything like that, it's amazing. And there's a lot of trunk space as well, or there's a lot of cargo space as well. One thing that I think Infiniti did amazing, and it's not a big thing, but to me, it's the greatest idea of life, is where they put the seat controls closest to the driver. All right, so let me give you a scenario. Say you and a friend go out on a road trip, a very long one, and they're tired from sitting in one place, and they somehow just fall asleep. This seat control makes it very easy for you to adjust it yourself, so that you don't have to wake your passenger up if needed, so that you can see your side view mirror, your blind spot, and out the side if you need to. That was genius. All right, let's get down to driving then. Word I used, powerful. This car has it with its 3.5 liter engine, pushing out 260 foot-pounds of torque and 260 horsepower, which is great for everyday driving. And this is what I think the G35 is really made for, everyday driving. And I love it for that very reason. Now, this 3.5 liter engine will get you 0 to 60 in about 6.2 seconds. By no means is this a world record beater, of course not. Because I'm not looking to do 0 to 60s and lap times every 5 minutes. I'm looking to have fun with my car on a daily basis. The one thing I really like about this is the steering. It's well weighted, well balanced, and very predictable. You turn this steering wheel, you know exactly where your tires are. The suspensions and the shocks, they are a little bit on the firmer side compared to, say, a Lexus or even some Mercedes. So you do feel more road imperfections, but it's not overbearing. It's very livable. So what that means, it's still stiff, it's still sporty, but not so much so that it's overwhelming over, say, the minor imperfections on the road. And me living in Toronto, there are a bunch of imperfections and a bunch of potholes that do come across on your daily drives. And railway crossings that you'll see right there. Certain issues are very common in the Nissan Infiniti line, and it has to do with a bit of electronics and something with the engine. As for electronics, it's the actuators of the actual windows and locks. They go pretty quickly for some odd reason. What you may find with the G35 and the engine in terms of trouble is it burning oil really quickly. Now, this particular one I have hasn't given me any grief in terms of burning oil, but from what I understand with my research that I've done, it's usually the 2005 and forward all the way up to 2009 that burns a bit of oil. Some 2003s and 2004s do as well. I can't say that they're all perfect, but it does burn oil. A simple check is basically get the car up to running temperature. Then, after it's idled for a couple minutes, say 4 or 5 minutes, rev it. If the smoke in the rear looks like it's got a blue tint to it, you know that it's burning oil and it may be a problem down the line. Another thing this car really suffers from is rust, right here, on the side sills of your doors. It gets pretty bad. This one was actually rusted out. I think I might have to change the doors, but hopefully not. But you'll find with Nissans and Infinitis, this part does rust. Now, one other issue that I have with this car is the placement of the engine oil dipstick. Here's what I mean. This dipstick, where it needs to go, you gotta twist and bend this particular route. It pulls up, it bends around, and God knows how the hell to get this in if you're in total darkness. Like, look at this. Look at this. I don't even know where it went. That in itself is mad annoying. All right, so all this power, all this luxury that you get from this 15-year-old car doesn't come at a high price, thankfully. What I find most G35s that are from dealer being sold at is around $3,000 to $5,000 depending on mileage and spec. You can get something with all-wheel drive. You can get something with lower kilometers. My current one, I bought it with 229,000 kilometers on it. So what did I buy my car for? Just buying it outright, $1,000. Cheap, cheap. But that wasn't road worthy right away. I had to do some work on it. Now, the great thing about this being 15 years old, parts are relatively cheap. I changed 2 upper control arms, left and right, changed the rack and pinion, which is for the steering, and also changed all 4 brakes, the rear bushings, the 4 rotors, and also some electrical work had to be done on the headlight. On top of that, for body work, I just had to fix some rust. That's basically it. Now, everything I changed on the car just to get it safety, it's not like it happens often. These were the original parts from when it rolled off the lot, and I changed that at 230,000 kilometers. So you don't change everything very often. The upper control arms and the bushings, that's something that you might change a little bit more often depending on how your roads are and how you're pushing the car. The only other running cost that you might incur, or you will incur I should say, is gas. And that's everyone except Tesla owners, Volt owners, and any electric car. This will get you 13.8 liters for every 100 kilometers in the city, and 9.8 liters for every 100 kilometers on the highway, giving you a combined of basically 11.8 liters for every 100 kilometers driving around city and highway combined. Yeah, it's not bad. So why the G35? Question is, why not? Nah. All right, realistically for me, it was cost of the car itself. It was also running costs, fairly cheap, doesn't take too much to maintain, and also what you get for your money. If you're buying this car for around $5,000, you're getting a remarkable value because you're probably getting lower kilometers, under 180,000 kilometers. Chances are you're also getting the rear spoiler. Also, you may be getting the all-wheel drive. Personally, I like the rear-wheel drive, but if you're looking for all season and all weather climates like we get here in Toronto with the snow and whatnot, all-wheel drive is a very smart route and it will always keep traction. And lastly, I just love the way it looks. I like it better than the Mercedes, personally. And I like it better than the BMWs. I just like it. Nah, I love it. So in conclusion, all I really want to say is this is a pretty good car to buy if you're, say, a student or you really don't want to spend too much on your car and still want to have fun. It's a great vehicle. I highly recommend putting this on your short list or picking it up right away if you get a great deal. Under 5,000 bucks, absolutely, I would buy this. If you like what I'm doing on the channel, definitely leave me a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you want to see me review anything, definitely shoot me a message either on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, to my email. I'll have all the information in the description box below on how to contact me. Till the next time, take it easy, and I hope this helped you with purchasing a car.